Bobbin lace making is more than 600 years old, and with time it changed in look and techniques. Have you ever made contemporary bobbin lace? Which materials have you used? Join me to explore my techniques. I will accompany you in the lacing, in the creating of your own artwork, done in tutorials step by step. Rediscover with me the modern take of bobbin lace and explore your own style. In this video, I'm introducing myself and give an overview of my work. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Uli Baisi. I'm a contemporary bobbin lace maker, and I'm happy to have you here now. I'm German. I am living in Portugal, and this is a kind of introduction to tutorials. I want this, my aim for this tutorials is that you learn my techniques. You don't have to do it my way, but you can apply also your favorite techniques like guipure or honeyton or Russian lace or whatever you like. I just want to show you the techniques, but you're also welcome to do it the way I'm doing it. So I'm nearly 60. I started in the beginning of my 20s as a bobbin lace maker. I started like everyone does. I learned the basic stuff, like I learned how to make the joints, to make rounds, to make tallies, as everyone does. I was not really happy with working with linen or cotton because it's shrinking, especially linen, because it also changed then its structure. So and I like color, so I looked around and searched what is right for me, and I ended up using machine embroidery thread, which is really strong, is vibrant in colors. It's not shrinking, is the color is not fading out, and you can wash and iron it. And my second material is wool. I'm lacing wool. So I started my business as a contemporary lace maker when I was 44. That was 2008. And I started with necklaces just made out of embroidery thread. They were really nice, they were really wonderful, but I needed a bigger variety of stuff I'm selling, and also the calculations for the time I needed to lace it were a little bit didn't relate really to the money I was getting for them. So I made, as next one, I made bracelets, and also out of machine embroidery thread. I sold them really well. I had smaller and broader ones, and I used different techniques. And my first tutorial will also be about making a bracelet. Yeah, and then, well, at the same time I started the bracelet, I also started to make lamps. I'm a little bit obsessed with lamp because I like it really light, and so I really wanted to make lamps. The first kind of lamps I made were out of toilet paper, wrapped around a mold, and then some lace applicated. That was not really a good technique because I had some holes when I took them out of the molds in the toilet paper, which I hadn't seen before, and that was really difficult. I had to do it again, and also the lace was sometimes not straight. I really didn't do really the perfect job. It was not like the way I wanted to do it. So I made my life easier and bought glass bodies, lamp glass bodies, mostly by IKEA, and then I applicated the toilet paper and the lace. I went on to another way of making lampshades, but I will tell first about making scarves because the technique is related. The scarves I'm making out of wool. As I said, it's one of my main materials, wool, and I laced the wool and I've sewn it with embroidery thread. The lace, the wool lace is embedded into a net sewn in the sewing machine with embroidery thread, which makes the scarves really airy and nice, and they are stronger than you think. You can wash and iron them, and they are wonderful. And I sold these and the bracelets best in all the times. And with the same technique of lacing wool and sewing, I made also lampshades. They were round and self-standing, and I had to applicate underneath the lace also some fabric. I used net curtain or ganza that you don't see the lamp itself really through, so that the nice is, I don't really know the English word for it. It comes, it's, well, you know what I mean. Yeah. So I have used 3 techniques right now. I have just used lace in the bracelets or necklaces. Then I applicated lace. Then I used lace in a mixed technique with sewing. And the 4th way of using lace were that I casted lace in resin. That was also really fun. And I started with interchangeable jewelry. The interchangeable jewelry means that I casted a disc with a hole in the middle, and with the top and something underneath I could screw this together, and the lace looked, the disc looked really nice. You could do this with rings, with earrings, with pendants, with bracelets, with key chains. So quite a variety. The clients were not really that happy because they wanted ready-made. The customers were not really that happy because they wanted ready-made jewelry, so I swapped into making rings or other stuff, as where I had a form. I had just to cast in the lace and the resin, and then this was done. So that was one ready-made jewelry. I made rings, I made studs, I made cufflinks, I made charms. Yeah, I made charms. And then I went a further step on. That was the most recent I did. I bought forms, silicone forms, which you can buy everywhere as a full ring. So I used this and casted then some lace in. The lace is really tiny, but it looks really good. I love them. And then I experimented and used some I cut out some rings from my olive trees, so just cut a branch and sliced it and cut then out a ring. and that really looked nice. It was really a really nice effect, and I'm looking forward really to make a tutorial about this. That was going to be fun. They're not perfect right now, but that will come. I'm really happy, and we will solve the problems. I had some problems with bubbles, as everyone, you know, if you're looking for resin, you find thousands of tutorials about not having bubbles in the resin. I had bubbles. Yes, I think I found some solutions to this, and I really want to try them out with you. So let's see. Yeah, in the moment I'm not working as a lace maker anymore. I'm living here right now in Portugal, as I said, and I can't really sell my lace here because the people, I'm living very rural. I have only sheep as neighbors, and the people can't spend really that money on my luxurious good, which the lace is. I'm working as a carer, which I've trained before in the UK, where I've lived before. I'm living here in Portugal now for 6 years, and the time I lived before in the UK, I had first a studio, and then changed the studio to Dartington. You might have heard about it. It's in Devon in the UK, and I worked really hard. I have sold quite good, but mostly not enough to make a living out of this, and the UK is really expensive. So at one point I closed my studio and worked as a carer, which I'm doing right now as well. Before I moved to the UK in the beginning of 2015, I worked in Germany, and I worked there full-time as a lace maker, and I were at a lot of craft fairs where I've been selling my lace work. Yeah, I think that's it. The lace is for beginners and for those who are doing lace long years. It's just, I want to teach the techniques that you can apply in your own favorite way of lacing, and I hope you are enjoying the time with me. Please tell your friends, and of course subscribe to my channel, give me thumbs up, that's really important, and I'm happy to say goodbye. Have a good time lacing, enjoy the life, and I say goodbye.